What's up, everybody, and welcome to officially a live edition. Holy shit! Took forever to get this done, but we are actually live, like right now. It's happening right now. Raw's happening right now. We got AEW Blood and Guts and TNT title to talk about. We got a lot of stuff that's been happening, and of course, hey, guess who got back to work this weekend? Ultimate Championship Wrestling. Whew. It's a lot to talk about. Exhausting, busy weekend, but let's get right down to it. Brian Taylor, what's going on, buddy?
What's up?
What's up? I'm Stan Grove, of course. Rob will be here shortly. He is just getting some things together. Hey, why don't we just start with the weekend, man? How good did it feel for you to get back into the swing of things with UCW?
I mean, it felt great. It's been 2 years, two and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer.
It felt like an eternity. Like we just wanted to and tried to get back into things and get things going. And that's one of those situations where it feels like the state puts us in a situation where we're trying to get everything together, get everybody organized and properly set up. We're trying to coordinate with everything that's available and what is all the logistics, I guess is the best way to say it. But we finally got everything moving, and of course, no show comes without some challenge, comes without some mixture of creative finagling, so to speak. I felt like we got back into the swing and got things moving the right way pretty quickly, actually.
Definitely. For having that time off, seemed to have worked out quite nice as far as getting things up and running faster.
Yep.
So we didn't miss a beat there.
What were the things that, because I know I had some reservations just about how things were going to go, but were there things that maybe concerned you before we got started on Saturday? Because you were there a lot earlier than me, and I'm grateful for that, because if it wasn't for you and Rob, would have been a lot to do. But I get there, and you guys had already had a lot done. What were your thoughts before we even got into the venue?
What do you mean for me personally?
Yeah. I mean, were there any kind of hesitations or worries that you had? I mean, There's the obvious BS that I think we handled really well, and I don't think we really need to go down that road. But I was just talking more along the lines of, the other stuff.
No, I wasn't worried. I got faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's the first time. So I had faith in everything that was going on.
How wiped out were you when you got home?
Oh, I hurt. That's for sure.
My ankles, my back, and I mean, hey, it's small potatoes compared to you know who I think had to have been the most sore, sickened. That backbreaker he took from Shane Malice was redonkulous, and he took it twice.
Oh, I must have missed one of them.
There's a double underhook into it almost looked like a shoulder breaker, but it was right at the middle of the spine. It's like, jeez. And it leveled him. It's the match itself. It's already being talked about on Reddit. Search up UCW Resurgence right now on Google, and you'll find it right away. There's clips circulating the web, guys. You get a chance to get a sneak peek from some fans. We had a great crowd. The Strasburg, Virginia site there was the Signal
Knob.
Signal Knob. Thank you. Signal Knob Rec Center. And there's Rob. Hey, Rob, what's going on, buddy?
What's happening?
What's happening, man? You sound great. Everybody hearing everybody okay? We're live here, so we're all kind of fiddling with stuff, but everybody sound okay so far?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sitting here.
What's that?
I'm taking in my free Slurpee from Slurpee Day.
Oh, that's right. It is Slurpee Day. Dang. So, Rob, I asked Brian, I'll ask you the same question. Were there any kind of concerns or reservations you had before we got started on Saturday, before we even got into the venue? Any worries that you had?
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, I was nervous because it was something I hadn't done before. And it'd been a while since we'd done anything. But, I mean, it was just it was interesting to see if the chemistry was going to be there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, right off the bat, as soon as the guys started coming in and we saw Dave, it's like as soon as we saw the guys, it was like, all right, we're home. It's time to do this.
Yep. It was really, really. It wasn't actually hot, but it was like humid in there. Like I didn't feel like the temperature was ridiculous, but everybody was sweating like crazy.
Dude, it was nasty. Once they turned the fans off.
Yeah.
I mean, for someone like you who's in a t-shirt and shorts,
I was in t-shirt and jeans, but it was nasty.
Yeah. I was in a suit with a tie and a coat.
Yeah. How'd it feel, man, standing in the ring there doing the announcing?
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's really something that I'd love to do again. Especially since, as the night went on, I remembered more and more of what I should have said at the beginning. It took me till the main event to be like, it's scheduled for one fall. And when the crowd was like, one fall.
We had an awesome crowd in attendance. When we first started getting things ready to open the door, it was like, 20 minutes to go. And just seeing people file in, and then the line just seemed like it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I was like, this is so cool. Yeah, that was awesome. What a cool sight to see. It's like, okay, get more seats down, put more seats down. Like, that's so cool.
But to the old man who sat in the seat he wasn't supposed to sit in and then griped when he told he wasn't supposed to sit there, and they gave him a front row seat. I saw how you played that, and I'll be wise next time you show up.
I liked that you weren't afraid, by the way, to call people out from the ring. That was pretty cool. You were strategic with what you said, but you were definitely letting them know that you recognized where they were.
I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I see your tomfoolery.
Let's see. High-level highlights. What about the kid in the front row who was extremely vocal all night long, who ultimately got a little bit of a cool-off period?
I mean, I don't know. Brian may be different. I think it's cool when people do that, but there's also a line. And when you're doing it every match, it's like, oh.
I think what we got a chance to participate with and to experience with the fans that were in attendance was a high energy level. Audience was interactive and engaged with the show the entire time. It was so much fun getting things moving, getting things going, and then just the tempo of the night was great. And realistically speaking, it felt like, I don't know. It had a higher vibe to it than maybe shows past outside of Dinwiddie, which I still think is one of our best ones. It just felt still that after show buzz. It's been 2 days, but I still got that after show buzz going on.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Like, I talked to Brian on the way home. It was fun. We were on that high. We were talking about it. And so we'll see what the future holds.
Mm-hmm. scheduled to be back at the Signal Knob Rec Center at October 8th for another edition of Ultimate Championship Wrestling. I would assume that it's just going to be Defiance coming back, but it was a nice special event under the guise of Resurgence.
Yeah.
So
What was that?
I have no idea.
Well,
No idea whatsoever.
I mean, I like it. I wish they'd have picked a different date, but I will work it out.
So let's see here. I mean, there's lots and lots to talk about. We're back live. It feels good to be back in there. Now, a little insight here, Rob. When you tapped on the link there, did it take you directly to the show, or did you have to do kind of like circumvent how Brian did?
Well, if you go into the pot at the app itself, then you have to it's cattywampus, because then it comes up there's two C2C radio shows on there. Yeah. But then if you just click the link, it brings you right in.
Okay.
And I will download a profile picture because you all don't have one of me, and I'm just a green head.
A green talking head. Rob Hefner is here for us. Okay, so UCW, we're going to talk about a lot of it. We're going to go over it. We'll be laying down the commentary for it here in the next week. It was about, how long did the show go? About an hour and a half? 2 hours. Did we get to 2 full hours?
Yep.
Nice. Right now, Monday Night Raw is on. For those that are watching, it's the Mysterios against what are they called? Judgment Day. Finn Balor and it's just Finn Balor against Rey Mysterio. That's what I get for paying attention. Well, let's see here. Why don't we go ahead and talk about Blood and Guts? We'll talk a little bit about some of the carnage that took place. Talk about the TNT title match, and as we get ready to head into this coming week, we've got Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen coming up, where Wardlow and Orange Cassidy will be going one-on-one for the TNT title. Let's start with the TNT title, guys. The street fight that happened just this past Wednesday, really, to me, it felt like honestly, it was really quick to take the belt off of Scorpio Sky. I guess I expected it for Wardlow, but at the same time, Scorpio Sky hadn't really had an opportunity to truly blossom as champion, and I don't know if you'll agree, Brian, but maybe that's a product of him being associated with America's Top Team.
Why would that be a product? I'm just curious.
Well, I feel like it just didn't give him an opportunity to really show what he can do. They put him in a position where he's got to rely on, Dan Lambert to talk for him. We all know Scorpio Sky can talk just fine. There wasn't a lot of, at least I didn't think there was a lot of buy-in from that perspective. I felt like there was more heat with Ethan Page.
I don't know. I thought it was okay.
I think what you're going to see. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Oh, it served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I didn't. It was a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. I'm not quite like your question's just a little. It's baffling to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't quite wrap my head around your question.
Why is that?
I don't know. To me, it's a storyline that served its purpose.
Okay. So you felt like it just kind of jived exactly how it should have then, is really what you're saying.
Yeah, the AEW, I don't think this was like a fly-by-night. I think this was the natural progression anyway.
No, that's a good point. I don't necessarily want to say that it's just fly by night. I guess what I felt like is it just kind of was. It felt maybe it did kind of feel fly by night at first. I don't know. I'm not trying to backpedal, but I can definitely see what you're saying. The play out or the payoff there was ultimately to get Wardlow into the position as champion, and it
Right.
served that purpose. So you're right, it did serve that purpose.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe you're thinking it could have been higher profile, could have been more on, meant
Mm-hmm.
something more. I don't know, but I mean, to me, the purpose was always to get it on Wardlow.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that's something that's been in the works for months, and
Yeah,
because they do a good job of that.
yeah, and they stick to it. They don't just
Yeah.
give up.
Right.
Well, and I think that you're looking at Scorpio Sky and you're saying, well, he just got the title back, you know, for them to drop it so soon. I mean, it's kind of the trend for the TNT title. The TNT title is designed to, you know, kind of develop that next tier or see where they're going. You know what I mean? Um, and I kind of feel like Scorpio Sky is the new guy, you know,
Yeah.
because you built Miro up, right? So then you can't just turn around and keep having Miro lose the TNT title
Mm-hmm.
because then you can't bill him as an unbeatable ass kicker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and well, Cody's not there anymore to give it to, you know. And so Scorpio Sky's that guy that I'm not saying he can afford to lose. It's just his character can bounce back. That's his character, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the belt, keeps it for a little while, loses it, then he will come back and he'll fight again and get the belt, you know. Because I think that's what they're kind of building him up to be. Not, I don't really see him at this point being like on like the main event stage,
Mm-hmm.
but he could be the guy who kind of helps develop that TNT title for a little while.
Well, I feel like with Miro, the way he's been built, his next logical step is House of Black. He's going to be feuding with them. And it's going to be cool to watch because it won't be just Miro running through them. He's going to have three solid matches: him against Buddy, him against Brody King, and then him against ultimately Malachi Black. That is going to be. I mean, that feud should take us to All Out, and maybe even further.
Right. So I mean, it'll be good.
Now, following that, we get a look at a brand new Luchasaurus. Now, we talked about it last week in our pre-record. Luchasaurus comes back with Christian after Christian says, "Remember what they did to Marco?" Which Marco, by
Polo.
the way, what's up?
Nothing. I said Polo.
Oh, so Marco is on Twitter saying that he thought actually that the reference to him was kind of lame. But at the same time, this resonates with Luchasaurus. He stops choking Christian in the corner. They go to the back. Christian, of course, has that devious smile on his face that he's ready to turn this into something to his benefit. So they hit the music, and out comes Luchasaurus, the Dark Luchasaurus, which is his new music has kind of a Kane kind of feel, and then goes into his normal Jurassic Express kind of look, or normal Luchasaurus music rather. Um, and they proceed to, well, first off, they come out there, intimidate everybody around them, and then we get a look at Matt Hardy coming down to confront Christian. Matt Hardy goes after Christian for how he attacked Jungle Boy. Talks about just about how much of an asshole that Christian is. Can't believe that he would manipulate his way, and that's where we get a look at what Luchasaurus is capable of as he choke slams Matt Hardy through the ring announcer's table, and just wow. We're probably coming up on broken Matt Hardy once again, as now he's on his own again and he's forced to find a way to survive.
If only Brother Nero would be there to help you.
Well, I mean, hey, nothing says that Jeff can't get things in order and come back. I think that's what we'll ultimately see, as long as things go the way that they hope for. But it's an opportunity here for us to see, a lot of good potential matchups. And now Luchasaurus is the guy. And I mean, who would have guessed? Who would have thought that Luchasaurus would be the main bad guy?
No, he's not a main bad guy. He's only been bad 2 weeks.
Well, by main, I'm not talking main event. So what I'm saying here is just the focal point of this feud is it's Christian, but Luchasaurus is the one that went heel, and we all really had it pegged for Jungle Boy, I think.
You forget, Brian, Stan's attention span is like 10-second Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Luchasaurus is bad. Luchasaurus is bad.
Yeah, that's right. Luchasaurus is the bad guy.
Oh, for Pete's sake. How many of those sounds do you have?
Oh, I've got a bunch. That I can mess with.
The cool sounds, and he used it on that. Can I do sounds too?
You know what? I believe you guys have access to that panel. If you look at the audio effects, you should be able to tap which one. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 12 of them. Oh, excuse me. There's 16. My bad.
What button do I push?
So, for example, with that joke, I'm pretty sure you guys hated it. So, just tap on the icon.
Where do I find those icons?
You'll have to send me a screenshot of what your dashboard looks like for me to actually see that, because I don't. I'm working from the website. You guys are working from the app, I assume.
I'm on the website. What the hell are you all doing?
Well, hey, it sounds just as good from one to the other, so I don't care what you access it with, as long as it works.
So is Kushida coming to Impact?
Yes, Kushida is scheduled to work Impact's tapings. Let me see the time on that, because I believe it's end of July. Debut Impact. All these guys and gals that WWE couldn't figure out what the hell to do with, guess what? Everybody else that's surrounding us in the world of professional wrestling says, oh yeah, we'll take them. We got something for them to do. Kushida is scheduled to take on Rich Swann this Friday at the Derby City Rumble, television tapings. That is Impact on July 15th, this Friday.
Nice.
That's going to be a great match.
Yeah, I mean, you figure Chris Bay, some of the other ones involved. He'll fit in quite nice. And they'll know what to do with him.
Yes, exactly. They won't mess around, try to reinvent the wheel. They just say, hey, go be Kushida. Well, what a novel freaking concept.
I don't even know if WWE tried to reinvent the wheel. I just don't know if they tried anything.
They were too busy.
Might have been.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to reinvent the wheel with him. Just send him out there. His little orange vest.
Yeah, and his Back to the Future thing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let him go. He's known all over the world. That should have been easy for them.
Well, the problem was they threw him into that 205 live bracket, and I truly believe at one point 205 live was the. You know how when you have multiple, you're watching multiple people, right? And you got your eyes on one, you know where the other one is, and you're like, oh, shit. What would he have on the other one? So, like, everybody WWE's watching WWE, and then Triple H is on NXT, and then one day they realize, shit, No one's done anything with 205 Live.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
yeah,
they got overzealous. They just didn't know what the hell to do.
wasn't overzealous. They were just trying to make themselves look better for the shareholders.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you
They
mentioned
had
the
to save money
shareholders.
somewhere.
Four more people have come forward. The investigation continues on Vince McMahon, and breaking today from Fightful Select, Fightful.com, another law firm has stepped in and is investigating the McMahon situation as well. This rabbit hole is just going to keep getting deeper.
Well, as I'm saying, I'm sorry it happened, but at least for us wrestling fans, maybe it'll force the hand that no other way was going to be forced.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is if he gets voted out, let's say they do the vote of no confidence, essentially that removes him from any kind of activity within the company. He's right now not even backstage at Raw. He is supposedly he's on a trip trying to connect with John Cena while he gets ready to film another season of The Peacemaker.
Wow. I don't know why John Cena or HBO would let him anywhere near. Unless he were to have like a guest role.
I wonder if maybe Vince has for a while he had like executive producer rights to certain films, like especially with WWE films. But I wonder if in the contract that he has with John, that he gets producer rights.
Why would Warner Brothers give a competitor rights?
I have no idea.
Maybe he's playing the sex-craved hitman that gets taken out by a studded dildo or something. I don't know.
What? Oh my god. Here's to hoping that never comes out. Good lord.
But I mean, because see, I was told that I was under the impression that he was relieved of all like he wasn't doing any CEO board work, company work,
doing creative,
but he was still doing creative. So, but I mean, you got to think nothing's going to change creative wise until he's like gone.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of like Punk said until he's dead, most likely, which is sad. There probably won't be any major change.
Well, I think once he's forced out of the company, and this is sad to say, but I think that company is his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if once he's bumped out of that company, then
yeah,
because that's all he's living for right now.
I hadn't
His
thought of
kids
it
are
that
grown
way.
and don't like him. His wife's moved out.
Right, and they just sold their big property in Connecticut. So still kind of looking at the aftermath of Blood and Guts, we know that the winner of Blood and Guts was the Blackpool Combat Club. We had Claudio. We had a stare down between Claudio and Jake Hager this past week. Hager taped up Claudio talking about that he's the guy that had his arm raised, and they keep that story moving forward. But the talk of it really is going to be what happens next with Claudio. We get this matchup between him and Hager. I don't see that as a great match. Could be good. Could give Hager a chance to really shine. We really haven't seen a lot of singles action for Jake Hager.
Well, maybe what, 5 matches, maybe,
yeah. I mean, it's not been very many in the span of the 3 years he's been with the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but that's not a lot.
No, No, and this should be a situation that gives him an opportunity to really show what he has. I mean, because if there's a guy that can help bring out the best in him, it's got to be Claudio.
Claudio getting some cardio.
So we've got Swerve in our glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland beating the Butcher and the Blade. The Blade. Let's try to say that a little better. It was what it was, but we get the furthering of the storyline after the fact where Lee and Swerve Strickland win the matchup, and they start to promote for, hey, we want an opportunity at the title. But Team Taz comes out and says they're getting tired of having them come out there, and Ricky Starks says, what you have in front of you are true grown-ass men, you trick-ass bitch. Ricky Starks is legendary on the mic. Just never change, Ricky. Never.
Well, Hobbs didn't do too bad either, though.
No, and he's done nothing but benefit from his pairing with Starks.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've always liked Hobbs since first time I laid eyes on him, but Ricky's definitely teaching him a little bit of something.
Yeah, there's a very unique kind of approach that they have, and the cadence that Ricky Starks speaks in is great. He knows his timing. He knows how to reach people and get their reaction. And Hobbs is feeding off of that and feeding off of it well. The Bucks come out and they basically make it that, hey, we're the best. No one's going to beat us, and so let's go triple threat. So this coming week, we've got Swerve in Our Glory versus Team Taz versus the Young Bucks for the AEW titles. The crowd, though, they wanted another team. They wanted one more. They were absolutely on fire for FTR with the chants. But, the Bucks say that we're better than those guys, and you know that. Clearly building for, well, we've got All Out coming up, and that's going to be most likely where we see the Bucks and FTR. That will be 3, right? Bucks versus FTR 3.
I believe so, yes.
And before we get to that, Brian, we get a barn burner on the 23rd. Absolutely can't wait for this matchup. The Briscoes and FTR. It's a rematch for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. This match is going to be amazing.
I don't want to think about it.
You don't want to think about it?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Did you watch the first one?
I did.
So how does the second live up to the first one?
Oh, well, that's a great question. I don't know that anything could. But hey, maybe they find a way to make it just as good by doing it differently. Not sure how exactly, but maybe.
You can't. I don't see how you can. A once in a lifetime match. And now I gotta hope the second lives up to the first one.
Well, if there's two teams that can pull it off, I think they've got the right pairing.
No, because what happens if they do pull it off? You'll have seen without a doubt the greatest tag team match of all times.
And then never get to
see it.
And
then how are you going to
get it? What a great problem to have, though.
Yeah, literally, I still have that Ring of Honor pay-per-view on my DVR.
Oh, you can't delete that. That's history.
Right. It's sitting there.
You got to literally film that from your phone. I'm not encouraging you to steal, but I'm just saying you got to save that. You got to keep it for posterity's sake.
Yeah, I mean, but it's sitting there, and now I gotta put a second one. If the second one's better than the first, then I might have to make a decision one day.
Mm-hmm. We got Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe coming up on that same pay-per-view. That matchup is going to be great. We've got Wheeler Yuta, who's going to be defending the Pure title. We've got Jonathan Gresham, who this past Friday, Brian, did you see Moriarty and Gresham against Tully Blanchard Enterprises?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that turn I did not see coming. I liked it. I enjoyed it so much because it was just very simple. It was just he wasn't there for whatever reason, just random occurrences keep Gresham from being able to tag in, and then this very simple turning of his back. But man, the impact, the crowd felt it when he turned his back.
I don't know. I think when he walked down the first time before he turned his back, he kind of like walked down the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think everybody knew then Gresham was a dirty, dirty rascal.
What do you think of Jordan Grace saying that Chris Benoit couldn't have thrived in today's wrestling business because he would have forgotten things before his matches?
So let's remember that they were a different time, right?
Definitely.
And they would have known going into it what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever seem to recall hearing an issue of him not knowing or forgetting what he was supposed to do. And he probably would have been able to call it on the fly a lot faster than some of these guys now.
Right. I mean, knowing what we know now, seeing what we've seen, I mean, Benoit and Omega could have very easily been a great matchup. There's a lot of people he'd have been able to work with really, really well. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. There's not one matchup for Benoit that I can think of where there was like some major botch where he was lost or he didn't know where to be or anything like that.
Other than the Cripper one.
Well, yes. I mean, the whole suplexing of Sabu onto his head. That was, yeah, all right. You win. You win the day. That's a good point. But I mean, that's a freak accident, right? He didn't do that on purpose, did he? No.
But you know, again, though, I don't recall hearing anybody ever say, you know, that he forgot in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was probably just some stupid attempt to be relevant in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's even come out and said that, you know, what she said was tasteless and had no place. And she's already reached out to she's already talked to Chavo and Jericho and to Chris Benoit's son about what she said, and that, you know, she realized after she said it that it really had no place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, to me, that's just, I think Brian saying, you know, she got caught up in the moment, said something, and there's no basis, there's no substance. You know, that's like coming out and saying, you know, oh, well, if so-and-so played this sport today, they would be no way they could do it. You know, it's like the context of things, you know, it's when you get in the LeBron and Michael Jordan argument, you know, well, there's no substance to it, you know, like it's different genres, it's different times. So yes, Benoit had his issues, but you know, his issues weren't actually very relevant. I don't think they weren't very prevalent until the end, you know, when he was taking more of a backseat and not being as active, you know?
Right.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is, and this is the part she really has to, you know, stop making stupid comments like that about. In his time, he was considered one of the best in the world. He would have been counted among the best.
Right.
Like in pure technical, right? He was considered one of the best.
Right.
And no offense to her, but I mean, literally, he would have been probably top 5, if not higher.
Right. If it hadn't ended the way it did, people would have had a whole different conversation about Chris Benoit.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like, you take his career, you take out the end, you take his career and put it up against anybody. What he accomplished in the time that he was there, he broke the barrier. He and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho broke the barrier of the mid-sized guys in the land of the giants. But like you said, there's always going to be that asterisk. But it's just, I hate when people that can't even, they're not on that level, they try to be on that level or compare people on that level. It's like me coming into UCW, ring announcing one time and then talking about, well, Justin Roberts is okay, but
he's no Rob Hefner.
Right. Like, I have no grounds to talk about anybody.
Who did Justin Roberts ever beat?
Right. When's the last time he was in Strasbourg and rocked it? Huh? Never seen him play the Signal Knob Rec Center. But it's that kind of thing, It's like you can't compare, and I would never sit here and be judge and jury on, like, we say our opinion on people, but we always say it's our opinion.
Right, exactly.
Like, I've said my opinion on Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame. It's now a joke. You know what I mean?
It is the running gag.
You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of weight behind the argument that, hey, had things not happened the way it did with Benoit at the end of his career and his life, Benoit certainly would have gone into the Hall of Fame as soon as he retired.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
He'd have been champion a few more times, and he'd have gone in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
No questions.
I agree.
But unfortunately, for his legacy, you can never say the name or talk about him without one, like we said, the asterisk, or bringing up, Because think about it, in this conversation we've had about him, how many times have we said asterisk or the end, or whatever, like. So.
Did Carmella just become women's champion for Raw? Oh.
Oh, dear God. You're going to make me turn that on.
No, don't turn it on. I'm just asking that. No.
I got Dynamite on from last week.
Better than that than Raw.
Is this Dynamite? Scorpio Sky has the title. Spoiler alert.
Oh, he ain't got it for long. Literally, that match was a blink of an eye for me, by the way. Go ahead, Ryan.
Who was Carmella wrestling?
Bianca Belair.
No. Did she?
So it's weird. I don't have the audio on. The only reason I have it on is because we're live and it's live. Becky Lynch got involved with the finish somehow. And then 1 second happens and I see that Carmella's standing in the middle of the ring holding the belt. Let me flip over to Twitter here. Hold on.
I'm going to go to my DVR now.
Okay, so it looks like what they're going to do is... All right, so it must have been like a DQ or something like that, and Carmella was trying to claim that she's the champ. Okay, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. But it looks like they're going into SummerSlam for a stupid triple threat there. That's.
But
stupid.
Since we're talking about WWE and female champions, let's take a second to note that while Natty took Liv's finisher and laid for the pin.
Oh, yeah.
She immediately popped right up, said something to her, and walked right out.
Yeah, this happened over the weekend at one of the WWE house shows. Don't know the context behind it. I don't know exactly what happened between her and Natty. But Liv Morgan hits the like you said, her finish, hits the 3, and then Natty sits up, points to her, says some choice words, and rolls out of the ring, almost like a Austin Aries kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean it was like very quick.
It's wild to me to think that they would go that direction on any kind of plan. So this had to have been something where she's just like something had to happen there in the midst of things where maybe there was a receipt coming or I don't know. But damn, never seen Natalia do anything like that. So completely out of character.
Or maybe she's just like, I'm tired of the bullshit.
Could be. I mean, if there's a person that has worked her ass off to try to be the company girl kind of thing or the company woman, I think Natalia's tried to do that.
Did Raw just pull off a UCW Shane Malice angle with Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar come down there and be like, I'm not leaving until I get Roman Reigns?
No, but he got interrupted.
Okay.
He got interrupted by Heyman at the beginning. They wasted a good 15, 20 minutes with that promo.
Okay.
And then we get to, since we're on the topic of it, perhaps the worst Money in the Bank winner, period, since that match was conceptualized, in theory.
Oh, you were saying his name. Sorry, I thought you said in theory he was the worst.
No, but it works on both ways.
Why do you think it's the worst?
He's horrible. He's not enjoyable. He's not entertaining. I don't think that even his in-ring work is all that good. You see Theory. Can you see him beating Roman Reigns?
I can't see him beating anybody.
But that's why they gave him the way out. They gave him Money in the Bank.
To have somebody do the work for him and then to cash in. Right. Kind of similar to Seth Rollins. But at least with Seth Rollins, it gave us a feel of, well, Seth's pretty damn good. We know he's pretty damn good. So there was some reason to believe that.
Listen, if that's the only way you can get him to that world title, you got to get him that world title.
Yeah. I feel like it's a huge mistake if they don't let his cash in be successful.
Well, I mean, again, he's handpicked, right?
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, you got to get one of these handpicked people to get over.
With Theory winning Money in the Bank, after looking at an entire field of people that would have made better sense, I mean, obviously Cody's not going to win that. He's not there, right? He's hurt. You got Seth, which would have made sense. You've got Riddle, which would have made sense. But it's Theory they decide to go with. But maybe you're right. Maybe because it's the handpicked guy, because he's the most unlikely winner, that's where they feel that it's going to get the most money.
No, I mean, again, your whole program with him has been Vince's little handpicked puppet. Mm-hmm. So again, what better way to put the world title on him than to give him an opportunity not to have to wrestle for it? Give him Money in the Bank. Brock can, F5 Roman after the match. Theory runs out, calls for the bell. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd hates it. Roman goes away for a while. I mean, it's beautiful.
What? You did not just say that it's beautiful.
I did say.
Oh my God. That hurts my heart. Why would you say that?
I mean, in typical WWE booking, it's absolutely perfect.
Wow. Well, you got the typical WWE booking part right. I don't know about the beautiful part, but you got the typical part right.
Yeah, because then Roman goes away, comes back 6 months later. Oh, look,
It's Roman!
Roman Reigns is the only guy that can beat Austin Theory. Roman's a face again. Everybody loves him. Yada, yada, yada. Yay.
So who does Austin Theory beat
Creed.
in the meantime? No?
Who does he beat in the meantime? Well, I mean, he's the
Madcap Moss?
right. He's
Why not?
Baron Corbin?
Why not?
Mi-
Kevin
Miz.
Owens, Sami Zayn, right on down the line. I mean, those guys deserve title shots too. By God, they're superstars.
The sarcasm is dripping from your comments. By God. It's painful to see that Ciampa is paired with Miz, by the way.
Yeah, in the land of the WWE, anything can happen.
That's so sad, but it's
Yeah.
true.
I know.
Here. Can you see him now saying, hey, what's that guy? Oh, Gable. We're going to give you a main event push. What?
Mm-hmm.
I am?
Congratulations! You're going to lose to Theory.
But you get to be main event at Speed Bump. Our pay-per-view.
It's that is the premium live event, sir. And I need you to fix your vernacular.
Speed Bump.
Welcome to Speed Bump. That sounds great. That's good shit.
No, what's gotten even worse is the fact that like I am so disenchanted by them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even turn on the pay-per-views half the time. Like I look at the spoilers or whatever on the internet, and I'm like, pff.
I watched some of it. Go ahead.
Their last two pay-per-views have been more wrestling than sports entertainment.
There is a renewed focus on trying to make their matches more than the storyline. That's true.
Only at pay-per-views that I've seen. Uh-oh. Y'all keep talking. I'm about to sign up for my official WWE Priority WrestleMania.
No,
pass.
don't do it, Brian. No. Can we talk you out of it?
I want to know what the package is first and how much. Oh, here we go.
It's gonna be Theory versus Gunther.
No, it doesn't tell me jack shit. Can I say that?
Yeah, you said it. It's done. It's out there in the ether.
Oh,
it's in the ether.
Okay. So
there's a big disclaimer that said defamatory, harassing, obscene, and racist content is prohibited.
Okay. Wait, what?
Please be respectful when participating in the live show by using the call-in feature. You understand that your voice may be recorded and published by the host.
He's talking about our call-ins. Okay, gotcha. Sitting there going, what? What did he say?
Wait, who's got call-ins?
We do have the ability for listeners and for interviews to join us the same way that we are logged in here.
Well, if you go through the link like I did, then you're call-in. Hence the reason I can't change my profile and junks.
So from what I've seen, and again, we'll go through and we try to help you soup up your profile there. Looks like.
Oh no, don't worry. It's all about you. I'm just here.
Well, I can't change your profile pic, but I can tell you that if you go to podbean.com, log into your account, you'll have the ability to change your picture. You get a picture. You get a picture.
I'm going to confuse them all. I'm going to put a picture of you up.
That would confuse everyone. Like, wait, who's that? No, who's that? I don't know.
Who is that masked man?
So the main event of Dynamite, just getting back into kind of the show from this past Wednesday, pretty solid. Jon Moxley defending the interim championship against Brody King.
John!
You know you got to do that for John Washington from now on. John Washington!
Did you like that?
Yeah, you did well.
Did you hear
I
it?
did.
It's because I went around the ring earlier and I was talking about all the people that were there. And then I get backstage. He goes, "You didn't mention me, man. You didn't mention me. Am I not important?"
Ouch.
I was like, I was just looking at the banners, man. I'm sorry.
So Moxley and Brody King, these guys beat the snot out of each other for a good 15, 20 minutes. This is a great matchup. And Brody King comes out looking like a stud, even more so than he had in the past. Mox ends up getting the win with the Bulldog choke. Interesting, because I mean Brody has only begun his stretch here in AEW, so I wouldn't mind seeing this again.
Why?
I'd like to see what else they can do.
Why under these conditions? Let me ask.
Why under these conditions?
Yeah, for an interim world title, when you know he's not going to win.
I mean, even knowing or feeling fairly confident that he's not going to win, to me, it's one of those situations where the match could still be good.
But didn't you just have his argument with Scorpio Sky?
Wow.
Weren't you the one just saying, Scorpio Sky and Wardlow?
Wow. Yeah. I guess I see your point there. That's damn. All right. Well, I'll just go sit in my corner now and.
Wait a minute, my call-in feature's being disabled. What?
Rob, I can't hear you anymore. We're sorry, Rob has lost connection.
I will say on the call-in feature, since I've started, I have 6 different little notes saying, "Thanks for listening. If you like this show, lend your support. Send a gift."
That's where I honestly like Podbean, because they do it very politely. They give you an opportunity, but they just kind of throw that in there. You don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to click a button for it. And it gives people a chance to support us if they'd like, which is cool.
I hope there's like a counter for those situations, so we can keep track.
Oh, absolutely, there is. On the dashboard here, there's engagement. There is, see, it shows up, says "Pop Rob Hefner liked the show." Little medal there, and then there's also a spot there that says "Top Gifts." So for anybody that contributes to the show, it'll have that. It will have a little listing where we can thank them specifically right here.
You got to buy golden beans.
What's a golden bean?
To get the golden bean, then I can send like flowers, coffee, little emojis.
And of course,
all the way up.
Go ahead.
To an island.
That's right.
5,600 beans.
Now, as we continue to see things grow and change.
Wait, what's today?
Today is July 11th. Holy crap. I'm a month behind. Today's Monday, July 11th.
How does this guy already have his pro wrestling crate?
What?
Mother bitches. I ain't gonna lie. If I lived in the area and I worked for Pro Wrestling Tees, I would so take my crate early. I'll be packing that junks, putting it in my book bag. I'm not stealing. I do subscribe.
Now they done spoiled it.
That's not good.
At least know what 3 items are. Mm-hmm.
Are they good items at least?
One of them has potential.
Okay. All right. Finding the positives where there is none. You know what I mean? You got to do it. So,
Yeah.
while you said that the conditions as far as the interim title wasn't as attractive, what I was curious about was what were your thoughts on Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir against Thunderstorm, Tony Storm, and Thunder Rosa? What did you think about that tag team match, and what do you think of Thunderstorm?
I think that's for you, Rob.
Well, either one.
It ain't for me, because I could care less about Thunderstorm.
Damn. Don't hold back, buddy. What do you think? How do you feel?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
honestly, I haven't really watched much of their matches, so I don't know.
well, to my knowledge, this is the first time they've been dubbed Thunderstorm, which unique name. But it's
Thunderstorm.
It's kind of cool. I mean, is this, Brian? Do you think this is the opening of maybe a door for women's tag titles?
Do you sometimes do you ask yourself the question in your head before you ask it out loud? Why in the world would you put your women's champion anywhere close to a tag team champion? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you even entertain that in a conversation? That's some WWE booking right there. I'll have none of it.
Well, that's what they did. I mean, you have a great point, but that's exactly what they did. They paired the champ and the number one contender together. They gave them a tag team name, and it is so at this point. So
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's WWE.
Yeah.
Booking. Get that out of here.
Did you think the match itself was any good, though?
I mean, it was okay, I guess. It was okay. Nothing too crazy.
Didn't feel...
So what are your thoughts on the belt now that you've seen it after a while?
Which belt?
5 minutes.
Which belt?
The women's belt, the new one.
I like the new design. I think it looks really nice. It's definitely better than the initial, as far as being bigger and having more of a presence there. But I don't know. Maybe they could have just made the actual initial belt with the plates could have just been made a little bit bigger rather than going with it kind of looks like what was that title called at Lucha? The Gift of the Gods title.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where they put the little medallions in there, and once you get all the medallions, you can challenge for the belt.
Once you collect them all, you get a belt.
That's right. You've got your 6 Infinity Stones. I mean, you got your medallions.
Sorry, you didn't get this last one. You don't get the belt.
Womp, 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 womp.
But yeah.
I feel like with that title, they wanted to make sure that it was a bigger design, is what they were going for.
Mm-hmm. I like the design. I like it better than the belt they had at first.
Right.
I mean, I like the design of. Well, I say I liked the design of AEW belts because I feel like the new All Atlantic champion is just a knockoff of the women's title, but
Yeah, it felt like it was a really similar design to that. I like the All Atlantic title though, so I do like how that's put together.
And it's kind of like when the WWE brought out that one design that they have for every belt they have right now.
Oh yeah,
You know,
the Universal title and the WWE World title and
women's titles, and then the UK title, and then the Indian title, and then the
greatest Royal Rumble ever title.
Yeah, that will never be defended.
Braun Strowman retired as the only undefeated greatest Royal Rumble champion ever. Yeah. I feel like AEW's big standout matchup this week actually came on Friday, where we got Takeshita against Eddie Kingston in just a banger of a match. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch it from Rampage, find the time. This matchup was great. It was hard hitting. Takeshita continues to really, really stand out. I mean, in a big way, similar to how Wheeler Yuta just blossomed very quickly in front of us. But Eddie Kingston and him had a great one. And, I mean, Eddie Kingston has supposedly there's hints that at Grand Slam in New York in September, he's going to have a title shot against whomever's champion at the time.
Like a world title
Yes,
shot?
sir.
Can we have it Mox and then have him beat Mox?
I would like to see that. Have him win the title, even if it's the interim title, but have him do it. And let's get him and CM Punk in a rematch. You know, when Punk comes back from his foot, let's get him in a rematch.
Eddie and Punk in a rematch?
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
That way, Punk, you know, if Punk's going to be undisputed champ, gets it from Kingston. Kingston loses absolutely nothing in that situation. And Punk becomes, you know, one step further up the ladder a little bit. It elevates everybody. Rising tide kind of situation.
Everybody?
Do you think it wouldn't help Punk elevate a little bit?
No, I don't think Punk needs help being elevated.
Well, maybe not in that sense. I get what you mean there, but in the sense of helping to cement his reign, perhaps, or give him a good opponent to come back with.
Punk's one of them rare dudes. You could probably give him a broom. And he could have a decent program with it.
Punk is the guy that did the invisible mic promo and actually had everybody believing he had a microphone in his hand at Ring of Honor, and then proceeded to troll them for the next 15 minutes after they all bought in.
Wait, what was this?
Go to YouTube, look up CM Punk invisible mic.
All right. I'm doing this.
It is a minute and 33 seconds. It's actually IWA Mid-South, not Ring of Honor. But he cuts a promo with an invisible mic. It's hilarious. Wait, somebody's really sad in the background there. Get that person a hug. Sheesh.
Well, they just sang a song, whoever it was.
It was beautiful.
Through the night.
Touched my heart.
Hmm. 3 weeks ago. I sold. Let's see. I got distracted on YouTube.
Oh, that's a rabbit hole. No matter when, it doesn't matter when you're on YouTube. Whenever it happens, something is going to catch your eye.
Yep.
For example, BTE this week. It was all right, I guess. There's some
I'll be
fun
darned.
parts.
Invisible microphone. I don't want to turn it up too loud. Should be interesting. Y'all carry on. I'm watching. Oh, wow.
I love this promo. So, Rob, Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux, they both go on record saying that they thought they were going to be in WWE. They were going to be lifers. What do you say to that, sir?
Under better management, they would have been. But I also believe Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux would have grown tired of the machine very quickly. Because in NXT, he could have more of that grit, that edge that he wants. Mm-hmm. She could push that, like, because, like, we know that they're only going to let her do as much. They're only going to let her go so far.
Right.
With her sexuality or whatever she's doing. And so they would have gotten tired of their limitations and left. So he ain't no lifer. Mm-hmm.
Now, he and Scarlett have both stated that they will not be returning to Impact. They've actually turned that down. They've advised that they're looking to continue working in the Indies and then ultimately turning that into something else.
Wow, you don't think there's anything up with that?
I mean, they weren't happy or confident with the way that they were treated and handled during their run the last time in Impact. They did not like how Scott D'Amore treated them on their exit. And I only know that because of what they said in their interview with Fightful. But basically, they listed him specifically by name and they just stated they just didn't like how things went down with their exit. So clearly they wanted to exit a certain way and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you don't think they don't already have a plan to go somewhere else?
I mean, my guess is either they're going to Japan or they're going to AEW, at least for a short stint. Or maybe the new Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I don't know how you get a short stint out of them. I think you try and lock them up for a while. I mean, surely there can't be that many people that are foolish on it. Because if I need a talent and he's available, I think I'm calling him.
With Ring of Honor coming up on their next pay-per-view for July, and there's a lot more conversation going on, a lot more conversation in the works about them getting on television. Who would you take from the active AEW roster and move over? We already know Samoa Joe, obviously, is a Ring of Honor, at least for now. Jay Lethal, same thing. Gresham, maybe Wheeler Yuta, or does he stay on AEW? Or does he work both?
Isn't he still the pure?
Mm-hmm. He is still the pure champ.
So he goes over. Martinez goes over. I think Colt Cabana probably goes over. FTR until they lose to the Briscoes probably. Like one person on the roster. Fuego del Sol.
Mm-hmm.
That's my.
I like that pick.
He'll be He'll be champ.
Ooh. He'll be champ or he'll be world champ. I like
He'll be champ in ROH.
you backed that up kind of quick. So let's take a look at it.
Well, the thing you gotta try and look at is how much crossover will there be.
Well, I suppose that's up to Warner Media.
Well, I mean, that's not really Warner. That's Tony. Warner's going to say, I'm sure they got an exec in the back, but if Tony says, "Hey, Young Bucks, I need you to go do a tag match on ROH this week," the Young Bucks go do a tag match. See what I'm saying? So, I don't know if Warner's got their hands in that deep yet.
Well, I mean, I feel like they've got a specific agreement for AEW on TBS and TNT, and that could easily, when they re-sign their rights, and I believe that's next year, 2023, that they renegotiate. I mean, I could see them including them in that, including Ring of Honor in that mix.
I think Ring of Honor gets done well before then. I don't know, like, where or how, but I think you're going to need to get that up and running.
Would you put
fairly quickly?
Would you put them like on TBS or TNT? Do you have a specific spot you'd put them?
I don't know. Would they technically be competing brands?
Well, that's a good question. That's why there was during the media scrums. That's why Tony was basically saying that he was trying his best to work with Warner Media on what they'd allow and what they wouldn't as far as pay-per-view. And he was grateful. He said it multiple times. He's grateful for them allowing Ring of Honor to be on pay-per-view and use AEW talents. So it sounds like there's a working agreement in place, and obviously it can only grow. I do wonder what kind of audience, like how big of an audience we'd have with Ring of Honor if they were on larger television.
I mean, I think you'd probably have where they started. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have people that just want to watch wrestling.
Right. Hell, put them Saturday nights at 6:05.
Hell, put them on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
There you go. Let's have Ring of Honor and NXT go head to head. Why not?
Well, I think Nick Khan could just make, Ring of Honor his NXT. You
mean Tony?
Tony Khan.
Nick is the other
the
Khan.
Other Khan.
Yeah. But that's what I see him doing. He's got Ring of Honor. It's established, and he can test things out. It's like a test market, not on the grand stage, and then move them up.
There's definitely a lot of room there. I mean, Ring of Honor has a core group, a core fan base that will follow along. AEW, of course, will tune in for that, I think. I don't know that I'd make a predictions per se as far as what the viewership would look like, but I think there's an audience for it. One thing that AEW has proven very, very well is that there's a big enough piece of the market that it's not just AEW that has to eat into it.
I mean, you could go back to Jacksonville and run it out of dailies, and I'm sure you'd get enough interest to fill the arena.
Absolutely.
Maybe not at first, but 6 months, a year down the line, you're liable to have packed house.
I think that's a smart way to do it. If you go into dailies, the production cost of that is significantly less. You get an opportunity to really
Mm-hmm.
focus on audience growth and character development the way you want to do it, and you get a chance to really see Ring of Honor blossom. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just smart, but
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, there's really no point in making them a traveling show other than outside of pay per views,
Mm-hmm.
and just see what happens. Hello.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm here. I'm listening to you, man. I didn't know if you were done or not.
Oh my lord.
Yes, you called. Oh, sorry.
Chris Jericho on a recent podcast, the Gordy podcast, advised that back in 2016 he was ready to bite Brock Lesnar's nose off. What? This is, of course, 2016 is where Brock Lesnar basically throws elbows into Randy Orton, just battering his head, busting him open the hard way. Jericho, of course, the story took offense to it, thought it was an unprofessional thing to do. Confronted Brock backstage, where Brock basically laid into him, and he said he was going to bite his effing nose off. That just seems weird to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Brock would probably handle Chris Jericho.
Well, that's why he had to bite his nose off.
That's the Saigon whore that bit my nose off.
I mean, that might be the only way you can get him.
I mean, you'd have to either punch him in the throat or, you know what I mean? Like, literally just blind him with hairspray, something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if blinding him would
you're
work.
definitely thinking.
If he gets a hold of you, you just got to make sure he doesn't get a hold of you.
Oh, throw the ref at him.
Oof. Here, catch. Oh, no. The referee is dead.
Put somebody in his way.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can't grab you.
So, with everything that we've seen happening in the industry today, with all of these different things happening with AEW, they've only done 5 or 6 matches per Dynamite here recently. Are we at a point now where they're going to need to just stay the course still, or is there a need for them to increase and go back up to more of a 10-match card?
Why would we need to go? I mean, it all depends on your week, I guess. I mean, they still put on more wrestling than talk. That's the main thing for them.
Yeah, and that hasn't changed. The wrestling content within AEW still, I think, is outdoing WWE in spades. Like it's a pretty huge margin.
Well, WWE averages like 30 minutes for every 3 hours or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn low number. That's very true.
3-hour programming, 20 minutes.
Well,
Pretty much.
Blood and Guts had 4 matches on that entire show. The Blood and Guts edition of Dynamite 2 weeks ago. Blood and Guts was basically the second hour.
Yeah, but that's fine though, because it's a specialty match. It's not like that was that they did other stuff. That was all they did for the hour. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you have a good point as far as how it's structured. It's really about what's happening main event wise, like you said, like with Blood and Guts. That's a specialty matchup. It's going to take probably 45 minutes to an hour for that to really play out the way you want. So it is difficult to really add more matches to that situation because you figure 3 matches an hour, maybe even 4. That's a really tight time schedule to have to stick to, especially with commercials and maybe any promos that you had planned. But at the start of Dynamite and then all the way really leading up to maybe a few weeks ago, they were usually doing about 8 to 10 matches. So, I mean, there's certainly been a refocus. I don't know if I would say too differently off of what you said. It's really based off the situation and what they're going to need.
But I mean, how do you know it's a refocus? Maybe they just didn't cram 10 matches in because they didn't have 10 matches they want to push this week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happens next week if they decide, well, let's go back up to 9 matches?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, AEW fluctuates all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gloom and doom them quite yet.
Oh, I wouldn't even dare to try to do that. That wasn't my goal.
Well, no, I mean, like, oh, well, now they're down to 4 matches for 2 hours. Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The world's going to fall apart. No. Calm down. Relax. Breathe. Let the evil that is the WWE leave your mind.
Woosah. Woosah.
Did Alexa Bliss get a new
and that was the first one. I was like,
song?
Yeah, they got rid of her original, and now it's Shut Up and Fight, I think is what it's called. And honestly, you know what it sounds like? I don't know if you remember Sonya Deville's initial song, but that's what it sounds like to me. It feels like they're just recycling.
That's funny.
Wouldn't be the first time that they've recycled a theme. I mean, the Patriot, Kurt Angle, I want to say Mark Henry all used the same theme at one point or another.
Who?
Kurt Angle, the Patriot, and Mark Henry all used the same theme at one point or another.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Mark Henry, when he wrestled at King of the Ring, when he took on Jerry Lawler, the Patriot, of course, in '97, and then Kurt Angle ultimately gets the theme that we know now as Kurt Angle's theme. But yeah, it's wild because the original was very much generic, and then the Patriot kind of has a little bit more oomph to it. They kind of remaster it, and then of course we get the "You Suck" Kurt Angle theme now. So.
I had no idea.
We learned something new.
Amazing what you can forget.
Yeah. Well, so much has happened over the course of time. Wow, they are really stretching this celebration with Bliss and Asuka here. Jeez. Guess for no reason because they're in a hey, this is what happened at Money in the Bank.
What happened at Money in the Bank?
The Usos and the Street Profits. The controversy from the ending as Montez Ford's arm or shoulder was up when they got the 3 count and walked away as champion. It's odd how many controversial finishes have been happening lately. But you can only go off what the referee sees and what they do.
True that. True that.
So, what's that?
Nothing. You're getting this. Are you watching Raw? Is that good?
I mean, it's on, but no, I'm not really watching it. I'm.
Is it Alexa Bliss?
I mean, yes, but that's not my point.
Is she distracting you?
Usually, I can neither confirm nor deny. Wait, I just confirmed. Never mind.
Yeah,
Pretty much just confirmed. Yep. Guilty as charged. See here. So, out of curiosity, because I wasn't on the ride home with you guys on Saturday, what was your favorite match from UCW this weekend?
The triple threat.
Triple threat. Okay.
It was between the triple threat and the main event.
Red Scorpion and Ethan Cross. That's kind of to me a rivalry that could go on forever. These guys just have great chemistry together, so they really played it off really nicely. But the triple threat, it was a great mix of three different types of talents and three different types of skill sets. With Anthony Athens, with Sicken, and with Shane Malice. I mean, it was damn impressive from both points. So good call. You know the question that I have to ask you guys. I have to ask both of you. Who is the UCW champion?
I'm even confused. I was standing right there.
Is it a trick question?
I mean, it's Red Scorpion, right? I mean, I'm not the only one that thinks that, right?
But I saw the 3 count.
I mean, were his shoulders down?
I saw the 3 count, and the title don't change hands on a DQ.
That's true. The title does not change hands on a DQ. I mean, it wasn't the Ultimate Collision, so that is a completely separate entity by itself. So I don't know, Brian. Is it really a trick question?
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. I don't know, man, because the DQ didn't happen until after the pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
So then the DQ wouldn't count for the pinfall. It would count for the restarted pinfall.
Right. So is it Mad Max or is it the Red Scorpion? Put it to you this way.
I don't know.
Mad Max Morrison posts 2 pictures on Facebook after the show, both of them with the UCW Heavyweight Championship. Catch is that this is the former UCW Heavyweight Championship. We have a new UCW title, the new belt, new championship title. And the Red Scorpion defeated Ethan Cross for that title. So it's quite the quandary, quite the question, because they're both celebrating as champ.
I mean, obviously, it's something that's going to have to be decided in the future because you have to ask the question: who has the belt?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the belt right now? Like physical property of the belt. Red Scorpion has the new belt. But then Mad Max got his hands on the old belt.
That's right. So do both have a claim to the title? I mean, are we looking at is there a dispute as to who the champion truly is? That's a trick question because that answer is obvious. But
I mean, I think that is a question for Mr. DeVore, obviously. And in the coming days and weeks, we're going to have to figure that out because going forward, you need one champ. You can't have 2
that's
champs.
right. You can't have 2 different guys in 2 different areas claiming, hey, I'm the champion of UCW. I'm the Ultimate Heavyweight Champion.
I mean, one's high dining and the other one is getting the short end. So we'll figure it out. But did you see that North American title?
That was a gorgeous title. It's heavy. It is very heavy. I was really surprised by the weight of it. But I guess with a big heavy title like that, you're going to need a guy like Anthony Athens to carry it around. I'll tell you what I'm curious about from that situation. I'm curious about what Jason Raditz will have to say when he gets back from injury. We hope he recovers soon. We know it was an eye injury of some sort. But what happens when Raditz gets back? How is he going to feel about this situation?
I mean,
maybe he doesn't feel at all.
Somebody's going to tell him about the situation for him to even know about it.
That's you.
And I'm not a stooge.
Good point. Does he know yet? Wow. A very good question. Does Jason Raditz know that there's a new championship? That did it replace it? Yeah, it replaced it. The North American Championship replaced the television title. So here we are. There's a lot of questions coming out of Resurgence. What's next for the Static Age? What's next for Mr. Salazar, who seems to really, really have a plan in place, and we're only seeing the beginning. By the way, how good was Mr. Salazar in front of the crowd?
He was good. And that's like, there's obviously more to that because the real life freaks, had their issue. But then when Mad Max was on the mountaintop, they let him know that, you know what, we haven't forgot about you.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see. It was a good time, though. Fun.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys get a chance to see any of the trainees as far as the tryouts?
A couple, not many.
How'd they do?
I thought they did well. The ones I saw.
It was their first day. Mm-hmm.
So these were brand new folks, people that were looking to train?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
But it's going to be, I mean, the thing you got to look at is we had a great turnout in Strasbourg. The fact that there are people willing and wanting to be the future of UCW.
Right.
These people, their first tryout, I didn't see a single one of them say, you know what, F it, I'm done. They stayed in it. They did it. They listened. And some of them were the last ones to leave the building that night. Yep. So UCW's got an exciting future ahead of them. They've got a deep top. The roster's getting deeper and deeper as the day goes on because everybody's going to want to jump on this train. Just like everybody wanted to jump on AEW bandwagon when it started coming out. You wait. Everybody's going to want to jump on UCW.
I mean, it's one of those situations where there's a very bright future ahead for what could be. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of options, and a lot of reasons for us to really look at what's next and what's to come. I mean, I'm still, like I said, kind of on that after show buzz where I'm actually kind of wiped out still. I know you guys are probably still feeling it.
Yeah.
I was kind of
because when somebody texted, "Hey, I'm home," the rest of us were still there.
You guys were still there when I got home?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Well,
Too soon?
not hurting my feelings. I didn't know.
It's all good, man. And the pizza was good. I can say that. The pizza was good. Big slices.
Big slices from Al Forno's.
Yeah, so that was fun. Good pizza, good friends, good time. Some people in the crowd, I thought when we first went out and they were lippy from the beginning, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of excitement from a lot of the fans in attendance. I thought that was really cool. The energy level was great.
Yeah. Yep. Got my eye on a poster at a local shop there that the owner and I talked about it, and I'm gonna research it and try to come up with a fair price.
So,
and totally off the topic, I'm watching an episode of Storage Wars.
Okay.
And dude, has the auctioneer dude gotten big?
Is that the one that when he bids, he goes, "Yep"?
Well, like there's the auctioneer guy who's like, pay the lady,
Mm-hmm.
the guy and the girl. And the dude, like, he's like 2 times as big as he was last time I watched him. I'm like, holy moly. I mean, I'm not any smaller than I used to be, but, Again, totally off subject. Sorry. But yeah. My only critique was I wish the building had air conditioning.
Yeah, that would have made it nice. But even still, I mean, again, it was one of those situations where, it was definitely hot and sweaty and all that, but it was a lot to do, a lot of things to get accomplished. So yeah, but it definitely felt like a good step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun. We'll see what happens going forward. Because that's the only direction we can go.
So with everything that's been happening over the weekend, anything else you guys that stands out to you that you want to talk about?
Not me.
All right.
I think Stan learned the lesson. He never turns his back on the wild one.
Yeah.
The unpredictable.
Yeah. I got blindsided. I mean, hey, when you don't see it coming, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
And the thing that I felt a little bad about was as I was walking around and I turned around and saw Stan grabbing in that arm that was around his neck and he was going down to the ground. It never occurred to me to go over and help him.
Ouch. Yeah, I noticed that too. There was no rush of anyone to help. There was no, hey, Stan, are you okay? No. Just a very faint shout from my wife in the corner. What the hell? That's the last thing I remember. The next thing I knew, I was counting lights.
Well, the only thing she was like was, I need his wallet and I can't roll him over to get it.
Right. I was too heavy to move. And I don't know. Somebody must have just dumped some sweat out on my face or something and woke me up. It was not a fun feeling.
There's some more hearts. But yeah, I mean, I think it was the heat. It had nothing to do with the person around your throat.
I mean, it was one of those moments. I just wasn't expecting it. I mean, hey, it was uncomfortable, but it happened. We'll survive. I guarantee it won't happen again. That's what I tell you. I guarantee that. Anybody choking me out again?
Oh, that sounds like a
No,
challenge.
no, it's not a challenge. That's not, don't turn it into anything. It's not. Just won't happen
Mm-hmm.
again. That's all I'm saying.
You said that on a recorded line,
It's not
sir.
going to happen twice.
Yeah, all right.
What's that?
I'll let her know.
There's no need for all of that. Let's not twist it up. I mean,
Oh no, you got good talk when you're behind the screen,
I'm just saying, hey,
keyboard comrade.
oh, that's not nice. We're resorting to name calling now. Jeez.
You podcasting pirate.
Not a pirate. You're a pirate.
Podcasting proprietor of propaganda.
Wow. That try saying that 5 times fast. Well, there's not exactly a ton of stuff in the news from this past week outside of that. Obviously, as we continue to move forward, we'll be covering things. I know that the release date will be announced soon for AEW's Fight Forever for their console game. Kenny Omega did confirm that they'll be announcing that, providing a full trailer and release date soon. They did not give a date on that yet.
But Stan, how was your feelings on the show?
A lot of new tasks that I was doing, so it was interesting. So from normally, when we're there, we're either doing commentary or doing camera or whatever it took. All things aside, Brian and Katrina did a tremendous job with getting that done. So that was great. Um, Running kind of in backstage and working with individual talents to organize and to kind of get a feel for, hey, when you're going in for this part, or when you're going in for this moment on the mic, this is the focus, this is the bullet point. That was exciting and it was a lot of fun, but it was also very I was very nervous about that. um I wasn't sure how that would be received, and I was very grateful that it was received nicely and politely, even if maybe they rolled their eyes when I left the room. I don't know, but it was kind of neat. You can ask Brian. I was stuttering all over myself at the beginning, trying to make things clear. There's a few things I'm gonna obviously need to improve on, especially when it comes to time. Making sure that everybody knows what their times are. I did miss that, um, but that was a lot of fun going through that. I look forward to doing that again. I think that's a that's a lot of running back and forth, kind of keeping an eye out on what's happening in the ring, and then getting ready to kind of work with whoever's next. Hey, make sure you're ready for X, Y, and Z. That was really cool. Kind of working with sound, working on cues. I've never done any of that before, so that was a lot of learning on the fly. But I don't know. I don't know that there's a way that like you practice that. You just kind of do it. But that I really enjoyed. I think the stuff that really was cool, and honestly, I don't know that I did anything specific. I feel like a lot of people could have done what I did. I mean, I was grateful to have the opportunity to do what I was doing, but um, it was really about what everybody else was doing. I feel like I was just kind of a bit player. I, I I almost felt like I should have done more.
Every time I saw you, you were just standing there.
Ouch.
Just kidding.
Well, where is there? Because there is a very relative term. Standing in a lot of different places at different points in times. Um, the only I think the only thing that I ran into, and this is just more from a personal standpoint, is with having my kids there. It put us in a situation where we ended up leaving a little sooner than maybe we should have, because it would have been cooler to help finish up with Teardown and do a little bit more. I didn't really feel like I did a lot there. But outside of that, I mean, it was a tremendous learning experience. A lot of things that happened there was just, like I said, it was fun. It was a little nerve wracking, but it was in a good way, a positive kind of thing. So I look forward to the next one in October. And, like I said, there's a lot of things I want to do more of. And then there's some things I want to kind of tweak and turn around into different things. Like I mentioned, the times, that's super difficult because you need to be able to convey that in a way that is quick and concise, but also, I don't know, maybe I could have gone back with each match and said, hey, are we good on times? Everybody kind of know what they're doing. That's something I didn't do, so I would think I could do that. But I really liked the difference in viewpoint. That was really cool.
Because my question. Never mind. I'll ask it off here.
Okay.
I'm just wondering how, in the future, is that going to play, like, all the different roles, how's that going to play into commentary? You know what I mean?
So, I don't know. Leading into this show, I was under the impression that up until maybe about a week ago, maybe a week or two, that there'd be a different camera crew there, and that we would really just be getting everything going, and then probably sitting down and doing commentary there. That kind of shifted. We had a few things that happened completely outside of that, and being asked, hey, do you want to try this? Do you want to try that? That was kind of how that came about. If the powers that be were happy with my performance on that, then I guess I'd do that again. But I don't know. I could probably do it beforehand, but if we're going to be recording like on site, if we're doing commentary live, then if I had a preference, I'd prefer to do commentary. Although I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. That's the first time I've been asked that question. I don't know. I am curious as to the feedback, both positive and negative, for how that went, to see if this is something that I could do again. But like I said before, it was a very eye-opening perspective because, for example, we are talking to, what we're talking about, folks, is kind of like the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and without playing too hard to the inside of it, there's a specific matchup where we went over, certain pieces, and both participants were coming back with not necessarily like objections, but what if we said, or what if we did, how about if we turned this? And there was so much experience in the room that when we first started, it was very much keep your mouth shut, your ears open, and your eyes open. You know what I mean? And then when we continue to move forward, I can remember having conversations with you guys, and then having conversations with Mr. DeVore and with Diego about what options would be and what I could learn, and being able to help organize and structure how something could look and how it could pan out was kind of intimidating, because these guys are doing it in the ring and putting their lives out there and putting their well-being in each other's hands. And here's this guy that's never bumped once trying to tell them, hey, this is what we envision. Hey, this is what we're thinking. So I was very grateful that they were like accepting of that. But at the same time, it was very cool to hear the what if. So what if we did this? Kind of like when we brainstorm, like when we're talking about, like when Brian says, well, what was the circumstance around that main event that you would want to see again? Hearing that in a response was like, oh yeah, you're right. Because we already kind of know the direction that could head. So from a learning perspective, it was awesome. Being able to learn from all of these people that are in the room, and like Max is talking to me at one point, and Red Scorpion at another point, and not necessarily objecting, but saying, hey, with what you said, if we did, it was just cool to see that part and to hear it and to go, wow, yeah, that putting puzzle pieces together is really the best way I can describe it. Again, without going too far, and I feel like I've just word vomited everywhere. But without going too far into the
What?
right, without all the details, it's just a matter of the learning experience is really what I would say.
Somebody's playing your music out.
Was that the cue? Is there the hook?
like as you were talking, the music got louder and loud. It's like the Oscars. It's time to be
I
quiet.
want to thank that guy outside, the person that helped me with my car. Yeah, that's my very, very long-winded take on that.
And I will say this: something I liked watching was how Brian was down involved with, like, we got there and we were there and we were helping out, and as the people were doing their training, and as one wrestler was kind of going over the things what he wanted to do, Brian was also there kind of helping them and kind of talking to them and stuff. So it was neat to see that side, because Brian had done it in the past, you know what I mean? So it was good. It was, to me, it was really neat to be involved in all aspects.
Yeah.
From the getting there to the helping kind of come up with this or that and kind of troubleshoot the problems that had come up, and then to be given the chance, with this resurgence of UCW, play on words, get it?
Right.
With the resurgence of UCW, for them to, like, the powers that be, to look at me and say, hey, can you do this for me? Was like, wow, okay. Yeah. So it was just really fun to be involved. And then at the end, as Brian and I were helping with everything else and moving things and doing this and that, just again seeing yet another level. I mean, we've helped tear down before, we've helped move stuff before, but it was kind of just it had a different feel. And I don't know if Brian can build on that or if he felt the same thing. Just to me, it just felt different.
No, I mean, I normally help tear down the ring while everybody else is doing whatever. Mm-hmm. So don't feel no different to me.
Hey,
part of what I do.
In all seriousness, Brian, if I did not have you there, I would not have been able to do anything with that talent meeting. And I have no problem saying that for anyone to hear, because you were a huge part of that.
Nah.
Well, listen, with Podbean, they allow us up to 120 minutes for our live sessions, which is perfect for us. However, we did start a little early, so we are going to be concluding here. We got about 45 seconds. Of course, you can catch up with the show at C2C Radio Show on Twitter, C2CRadioshow.com for all of our pictures and news and comment. Join the 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 news.